Well, in today's video, guys, I'm going to be showing you the ARRMA TYPHON 4x4 3S BLX alongside the ARRMA TYPHON 6S BLX. And if you want to see either of these cars in person, you can do just as I've done and come down to JJ Customs in San Jose, where every single car that they sell is out of the box for you to come down and have a look at, just like these two cars. Anyway, guys, let's get straight down to it. So, guys, would you buy the ARRMA TYPHON 3S here on the right, or the ARRMA 6S on the left? First impressions, have your say right now, guys. Okay, guys, let me know your first thoughts on the ARRMA 4x4 3S TYPHON. I was actually quite blown away, as you will be, when you see it side by side with the 6S TYPHON on the bench, because it appears to be pretty much exactly the same size, which I was kind of not expecting. Anyway, guys, do give me your first thoughts on what you think of the TYPHON 3S. One thing I would say, guys, is if you're considering buying one of these, doing lots of upgrades, fitting lots of metal parts, lots of go faster goodies, buy the 6S TYPHON instead, because you will save money in the longer run. Anyway, what have we got? We've got plastic shocks, both front and rear, with spacers, as opposed to the big bore threaded aluminum shocks that are on the 6S car. However, we do have adjustable front suspension on the ARRMA TYPHON 3S and adjustable rear suspension. And a pretty similar looking wing to that you'll find on the 6S car. I thought it was the same to start with, but it is slightly different, as you'll see when you see them side by side, which I should come on to in just a moment. Now, something here, guys, that's omitted from the ARRMA TYPHON 3S is sway bars, none at the rear and none at the front, whereas the 6S car does have them front and rear. And the keen rider amongst you will spot the body clips. We've got 4 on here compared to just 3 on the 6S TYPHON. Minor, but a little difference nonetheless there, guys. Well, with the lid out of the way, let's take a look at the inside of the ARRMA 3S TYPHON. Starting from the front, as I say, we've got plastic adjustable shocks on there. You've also noticed you've got a plastic shock tower, whereas you've got a metal one on the 6S. I'm going to compare them side by side in a minute, and that's plastic both front and rear. Well, one thing that impresses guys from the outset and hear good reports of them is the tyres and the tyre tread on there, in very good reports of these, particularly at high speed. Okay, guys, well, you'll note at the front here we've got plastic adjustable shocks sat on a plastic shock tower, both front and rear. You'll also note you've got plastic drive shafts all round, including the central drive shaft as well as the front and rear ones, which again is in the metal on the 6S car. Moving forwards here, Servo on the left, ESC on the left. We've got our battery tray there on the right, our brushless motor, and speaking of that battery tray, you've got an EC5 connector in there. You do need to be aware there's little stops at either end of the battery tray, so you're going to need to be careful on your choice of batteries and only pick ones that fit. Also spot one key difference looking at the side there. You've got no big mudguard tray like you have with the ARRMA Granite, the Big Rock, etc. And moving on down, we've got a brushless motor with heatsink at the rear of the car. The keen rider amongst you will have spotted that this is the version with the longer chassis, hence we've got the support bearing on the main drive shaft, which is probably no bad thing if you're going to gear this thing up for a little more speed. Anyway, time for Richie's suspension test. What have we got in store for us here? Oh, probably about 3 inches of travel on there, quite nicely damped and sprung. Check out the rear. Again, lift that rear tyre until the front one just begins to lift. Oh, probably about 3 inches, 2.5, 3 inches of travel on there. Again, nicely damped and sprung. Well, the first thing that grabs me, guys, I don't know about you, is the new ARRMA TYPHON 3S BLX is virtually identical in size to the 6S one. The 3S one being the one on the right, 6S one being the one on the left. I was a little bit gobsmacked by that. Now, the cars are very similar looking, but not quite the same. Let's take that rear wing for an example. At my initial glance at the car, I thought it was the same one fit to both cars, but when you see them side by side, it's very clearly slightly different. You'll note we've got metal shocks and a metal shock tower on the ARRMA 6S TYPHON, but plastic shocks and a plastic shock tower on the 3S TYPHON. You'll also notice you've got sway bars fitted on the 6S Typhon, both front and rear, and you've not got them fitted on the 3S Typhon. So that's a few visual cues to the differences from the outside of the cars, boys. Probably the biggest mechanical difference between the cars: the Typhon 6S has an all-metal drivetrain, including drive shafts, whereas the ARRMA TYPHON 3S is all plastic. And you need to take into account the car on the right costs $300, and the one on the left $479. Anyway, that's enough of me talking about the differences on the outside of the cars. So let's look inside. So let's go head to head on the Typhons with the bodies off. On the right here we've got the Typhon 3S car with an entirely plastic drivetrain, plastic drive shafts throughout. The ARRMA 6S car, we've got lots more metal in it, including an all metal drivetrain throughout the car. Internally, we've got two quite different layouts with regards to the electrics, where the receiver, the ESC is placed, etc. on there, our motor mounting position on there. The motor is facing forwards with the centre diff in the centre of the car, obviously they're rich. Whereas on the 3S Typhon, the motor is rearward facing and the gearbox is right at the back of the car. So that's the biggest visual clue internally. Now, while the ARRMA TYPHON 6S tyres are rated at 70 miles an hour, I have to say I've been very impressed with seeing the ARRMA TYPHON 3S ones, as somebody has run 77 miles an hour in this month's Driftomaniacs Speedrun Challenge. Okay, let's check out the undersides of both cars. The 3S Typhon, plastic chassis throughout on there. Fairly similar beefy A-arms actually on the 6S Typhon, but you've got that all metal chassis running the full length of the car. Well guys, if you like this stuff, then don't forget to subscribe. But which one of these would you buy? The ARRMA TYPHON 3S at $300 or the ARRMA TYPHON 6S at $479? They've both got a lot going for them. And at $300, the ARRMA TYPHON 3S offers an awful lot of bang for your buck. Okay guys, now the 6S car is a little bit more, but you do get a lot more metal in there, a lot more power for your money compared to the ARRMA TYPHON 3S. What I would say is, if you're thinking of buying the 3S car and doing lots and lots of upgrades to it, I would save your money and go for the 6S car instead, guys, as you'll save money in the long run. Hope that makes sense. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell. If you'd like to see either of these cars in person, get yourselves down to JJ Customs in San Jose, or call them or drop them an email for more details on either of these cars.